This is SH Cosplay with another costume review. This is, I think, the 6th time I'm trying to do this because the video keeps cutting out for a variety of issues. Most of them had to do with my trigger, that despite only being maybe 2 feet from my phone, as soon as the Bluetooth would disconnect itself, it would stop the video. Awesome. And then apparently I had it set to go onto my SD card, which got full, so it stopped. So now it's got a fresh internal drive that this is going to save to, and we can get going with this. And I need to fix this slightly there. That was bothering me just a little bit. You might notice this strange environment. It is not my usual awesome throne surrounded with fan art from some of my favorite artists. We have the conspicuously blank corkboard, the calendar that is still in June, my fluffer nutter. So you might have guessed that I'm doing this in a place I probably shouldn't, but I have a good reason. And that reason is my air conditioning is broken in my house, which is not good when it is 90 degrees here in Western New York with humidity. If it was without humidity, I'd be okay. But it is, and I am not okay. With the air conditioning broken, it means that it is just as hot on the inside of my house as is outside. We have fans everywhere. It's noisy, so it's not good for recording. If I move even just a little bit, I start getting sweaty, and we all know I can't stay still, so it just wasn't going to happen. Any video I may record in the next couple weeks, I will not be putting any makeup on if I have to, just because I think it would just melt off me, so it'd be kind of pointless. With that being said, let's get into my review. This costume is from SimCosplay. They've been around since 2014. They are based out of China. I think they've only been on Facebook for fairly recent, and that's where I normally kind of participate in their happenings. I found out about them through my husband, who found out about them from another charity cosplay group that we network with out in Michigan, I believe. So, of course, because I collect resources and I want to know where to find things, and I always want to know who's got the best prices and the best service, I went and checked them out. If you go on their Facebook page, you can see that they're very, very active. Bruce, I think he's one of the owners. He is extremely, extremely involved. He is very good at keeping people up to date as to what's potentially going on, because, you know, sometimes there's issues. There could be a problem with a shipping partner. There could be a delay because of certain materials need to come back in stock, and he's just very, very good at keeping people notified what's going on. When they have busy times like Halloween or even into Christmas, they'll do a whole bunch of, you know, ready to ship, so that way, you know, you can still get something at the last possible minute. He does giveaways all the time. Sometimes they're just general, hey, you know, pick any female costume, hey, pick any male costume. Sometimes they're themed. Pick a Spider-Man costume, pick a Captain America costume, pick an Avengers costume, pick a Star Wars costume. He runs them, I want to say monthly, maybe every other month, and then he will randomly throw a few in just because he feels like it. Like at Halloween time, there was a cutoff for the ready to ship. Hey, you know, if you don't order it before this date, it's not going to get to you. And he felt so bad that he inserted another giveaway, and he's just really, really awesome like that. So the story with me ordering this costume, it's Black Widow. It's the black one from her upcoming solo movie. Originally, I was going to get an Infinity War version because I'm blonde, or don't look at my roots. Look inside my head. Still a little bit blonde going on. And I needed to replace it because even though I had one, and if you've been on my website, you've seen it, it's the awesome one from Civil War. And I got it on clearance, which means it wasn't quite my size. I took a gamble on a size too small. And even though it stretched, the one place it didn't stretch was in the shoulder area. And it was just kind of hard to get into. So right now it belongs to a friend of mine, so she can be Natasha. So we're going to fast forward to the beginning of January and a little bit of background because it kind of plays into me ordering this particular costume. At the beginning of the year, 2 of my cats had health issues. Snoop had sniffles, and my fat kid, Yui, wasn't eating like he used to, and he dropped a bunch of weight. We took Snoop in, we got on antibiotics, and that cleared up super fast. It was great. Yui, we thought, had bad teeth. His prior vet had said that they didn't look very good, and we believed them because we know cats are prone to dental issues. Our new vet's office, he took a look at the teeth and said, no, they're actually pretty good for a cat that's 16 and a half years old. Let's do some blood work. Turns out Huey had a hyperthyroid. So we got him some hydration packs, appetite stimulants, and blood thinners. No, I'm sorry, something for the hyperthyroid. Getting a little ahead of myself here. He seemed to bounce right back. He seemed to take to everything. Everybody looked happy and good. So when SimCosplay said, hey, we're about to go on our vacation for Chinese New Year and we're going to be gone a month, if you order during this time, we'll take an extra 10% off. So I said, why not? Everybody's in the clear, and I don't need this costume until May because that's when the movie was originally supposed to go out. I don't care. So I put the order in. Everything's fine and dandy. A week later, Snoop suddenly had an issue, it seemed. I took her to the emergency vet, and it wasn't good. It had nothing to do with the sniffles she had earlier. It turns out that based on the blood work, she had bladder cancer. And she probably would have passed that night, regardless of us going to the emergency vet. It took nothing for her to pass on. It was just barely had the sedative. That same night, Yui displayed a very strange problem, and his wrist turned in and he was walking on it. And we were concerned at first that maybe he sprained something. So we got him contained, and we dealt with her, and we had to put her down. And the next day, I didn't, but my husband took Yui in, and it turns out he was having a reaction to the hyperthyroid medicine, which caused blood clots. So we had to put him on a blood thinner and gabapentin, which is a pain reliever, and a few other medications. And he stopped eating again. And we got him going back. We got him back on the appetite stimulant. We tried to get him off the painkillers, but you can see it was sort of, he had a choice. He could get around and be in pain, or he could have his medicine and just be doped out. He wasn't bouncing back. He did start to eat again, and I thought that was a good sign. But if you could see the picture from the 2-week difference, it was ridiculous. And we made the unfortunate decision to put him down on Valentine's Day. Really hard because he was my sweetheart. So again, lots of vet bills. We ran up so much. I maxed out all my cards just trying to take care of them. So when COVID hit, I was tempted to cancel my order because SimCosplay did give us the option, since no one knew really what was going on. And my friends basically said, no, you got to keep the order because you're going to need it. You're going to need that present to yourself. And it wasn't super expensive, so I kept with it. So that's sort of my life intertwined with this particular costume. It is the Black Widow one from her new movie. And I kind of went back and forth. I couldn't decide if I wanted the black one or the white one first. And ultimately I went with the black because I already had black boots. So it was going to be that much cheaper for me. And yeah, so I'm going to get onto it and pull it apart. So this is the jumpsuit. I was a little concerned because between when I placed the order and when it actually finally arrived at the very end of April, I gained a little bit of weight. So I was a little concerned. Fortunately, I shouldn't have been because this material is very, very stretchy, has a lot of give. It's a little on the thin side, but that's great when it's hot out. You know, it's not going to stick to you too badly. The only part where it's kind of tight is where this piping is because it doesn't stretch, so it's very, very, very exact on you, but not uncomfortably so. You're just so used to the rest of the suit stretching. The only downside that my personal preference is the zipper only comes up to here, and I would have liked the option to be able to zip it fully up. It's also got some knee pads down here, not too bad. It's very comfortable to put on, and it's very well made by SimCosplay. I'm always trying to find some kind of fault with a costume I paid for because there's invariably something, and it's just par for the course. And with SimCosplay, I really don't have that particular issue where, you know, something's horrible and I've got to hem it, or I've got to, you know, fix a seam that came undone. I've had stores where it comes in and seams have unraveled and I've had to fix them. And SimCosplay is never, this is the second costume I actually have for them. It's not been an issue as far as craftsmanship. So this is stretchy, this fits perfectly for my height and my body measurements. Going on, we have the belt, and let me kind of put that in. So it's a little flimsy, but most accessories are. The Black Widow symbol in the middle and the gold around that is rubber, so that's actually pretty cool and durable. I would say my two complaints with this particular belt is that these pouches are super tiny. I mean, they're functional, but they're tiny. I don't know what you could fit in there. Definitely not my trading cards. This would be way too small. I don't even know if I can put a business card in there. And the other part is the holster. I'm not too sure what will fit in there. I'll go around and see what I got. What I do like about it, though, is these buckles so that they actually stay around your thighs. I have very large thighs, and it's very difficult to not only wrap it, but have it stay there. So these buckles are actually really fantastic, and it's probably my favorite part of this belt. Moving on. This is a little complicated. It's the harness. And so what it is it goes in front here. Make sure I put that so I can see it. And here's the shoulder pads. And what I noticed is that in the cheaper version, it's got the red accents, and the higher end one actually didn't. And that was my deciding factor as to which one to go with. It wraps around your arm, and there's Velcro here, and that Velcros to your back like this. The suit has two pieces of Velcro. My one complaint, and it's not just SimCosplay, would be the harness where she keeps her batons. You can see these holes are super tiny. There's no way you're fitting any sort of weaponry in there. So I'm probably going to be cutting into this at a later point and seeing what I can do with it. But, you know, as far as looks are concerned, it looks very, very well. And the last of the accessories is the gloves. For some reason, I just really, really like them. They're comfortable. They're lightweight. They're stitched very well. A lot of times gloves are a hot mess from companies, so I always appreciate when the gloves are looking pretty good. So here we go, you got the fingers gloves, and I love that it's long enough that I can tuck it under the suit so it doesn't get in the way. And then what we have left is her cuffs. This is foam, so you're not going to destroy it, you're not going to scratch it up really. Could use a little bit of paint to give it a little bit more depth, you know, to represent what they really are. But I like that I can just slide them right on, and boom, they're down there right there. Some places are just so exact with no wiggle room that's hard to get in and out of. With the way that harness is set up, you might need an extra hand to make sure that everything's fastened and put together for you. But overall, for the price, it's a really good value. Their shipping is really not that bad. Most of these places ship by weight. So I think this was like $30, $35 to ship. So that's not too bad considering some of the shipping I paid for other costumes from other companies. Put that on the side because I'm done with it. And then right now we're going to flash some product images directly from the website. So hopefully this is going correctly. I just want to give some product close-up so you can maybe see some details a little bit better. I think I've got like the full body. I think I've got it up close to the waist area. One or two others. Just to kind of give you a better idea of what's going on. I believe the price is $158 before you get the boots. So like I said, that was a factor of why I got the black one first, is because I already had a pair of comfortable knee-high boots. So hopefully you found this informative. If there's something you'd like me to clarify on, please leave a comment below, and have a good day.